your testimony was so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your transparency. Thank you for the accountability. I heard that word, child. And thank
Yes.
you. And thank you for sharing the spiritual parts of yourself. So as we're focusing on your spiritual journey today, what is the most important lesson your spiritual journey has taught you about yourself as a Black woman?
Yeah, yeah.
There was
I
a lot
mean,
in that side, girl.
yeah. Because you have to think about that, because obviously there's just so many lessons. But I think that
Sure.
the greatest lesson has been both to recognize my strength and wonder
Mm,
being a Black woman, my magic
mm,
of being a Black woman, my ability, um, while also respecting that I am too human, that also every gift that I have and that I am should also be respected and honored by myself and by everyone. And
mm,
so just because I can do it doesn't mean that I will.
mm.
And so just because Black women can save the world doesn't mean that I'm showing up with my cape. You understand? So like, it's
Preach.
there has to be, the conditions have to be right. And that is something that my spiritual practice has just blessed me with, is to understand what it means to have a green thumb and to be able to keep a orchid alive, or a bonsai tree, or anything else that the soil, the watering, all of the things, the conditions have to be right.
Mm,
And just thinking of myself, and just all these different things, and just always being in alignment in such a way that I am able to assess my own capacity at any given moment, and the capacity of my environment or the people I'm dealing with and talking to, and truly having a respect for myself, that I am not using my energy incorrectly.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Evangelist Karen White said, "I'm not your superwoman."
Hello. Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Okay. Preach. Love that. I love that.
Woo!
Um,
You hit on so many different things in your testimony, Angelica, that really just blessed me. So I'm interested in a lot, but one question at a time. I love that you said you have to take responsibility for the gift of your
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got into Buddhism, you understood that, along with creating peace within yourself first. I think for a lot of people, I know me in particular, growing up, you do look outward and try to figure out why someone's not doing this the proper way, or why, placing a lot of blame on others, because the hardest
Mm-hmm.
reflection is seeing you. How long did it take you to really start looking inside and creating that peace inside that would eventually be reflected outside?
I think I will say that maybe roughly it took me about, so I would say, I would say that I was basically 25 or so when I figured that out. I'm 42 now. But so at 25, I had this aha moment.
Mm,
And the aha moment was the fact that I was with this man that I absolutely loved. And but we were living what we call a stealth life. So meaning, because no one could tell I was trans from the outside, I was selling real estate in South Florida, so we didn't tell anybody, and that also benefited him. It didn't really benefit me. It was suffocating me because
Mm.
I couldn't be real around people I wanted to be more real around. Um,
Mhm.
and so, when it comes to dating trans women and not dating trans women openly, and, men having those issues, it's one of these situations where distraction is very interesting. And so, like, it's very interesting for us to get distracted on things that would have us focus on how other things and other people need to change, because
Mm.
it's so obvious. He doesn't want to claim me out in the public. He can't tell anybody that this is obvious.
Mm.
Meanwhile, over here on my side, I'm not all the way together neither. It's just that his issues are overshadowing probably me to look at my own things. And so when I went into
Mm.
therapy and was starting to have therapy, uh and started talking about the relationship and him and the way things weren't going and blah blah blah, at some point she handed me a book called The Voice of Knowledge by Don Miguel Ruiz. So that was one of the first keys that
Hmm.
unlocked my brain in a big way. He also wrote the Four Agreements. Most people
Mhm.
know about the Four Agreements. The Voice of Knowledge is one of the first ones. And she got me to realize that, was so I was so frustrated with the fact that I was waiting on him to have the courage and
Mm.
the ability to tell his family, no, she's not pregnant and shacking up with me. She's actually trans. That's,
Mm.
and, to be honest about the situation, and to also be honest that I actually proposed to her and, want to marry her, sort of situation. And so I was wearing a ring and engaged, but like keeping it a secret. And
Wow.
so it wasn't until I realized, wait, I'm waiting on him to make a decision when I'm a grown person who could also make a decision. And it didn't
Mhm.
really, it didn't occur to me at first, because I guess when you think that decision might be ending the relationship or choosing yourself in
Mhm.
some other ways,
Mhm.
you're almost not even considering that as an option.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it has to get clear that if you're looking for a decision to be made,
Mhm.
that you have every bit of power to make a decision that will shift and change the situation.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So that was the
It's
first time it kind of clicked for me, like, oh, not my mama, not him, me.
Mhm. Mhm. It's so finding that peace comes with a cost. It comes with a
Baby.
cost. And now that you found it, and let me tell you something, when you find some peace,
Honey.
the way I'm blocking you, if you going to interrupt my peace,
Yep.
cuz I ain't got time.
When you find
What
true
are
peace,
the
absolutely, yes.
true peace?
Mhm.
Yes. So what are the boundaries that you feel like you have had to put in place to protect that peace and that joy that you have found?
I think, well, one, before I get to the boundary, I think that
Mhm.
before I could get to a place of setting those boundaries correctly, I think that I had to correct my understanding of peace and the price of peace,
Hmm.
and understand that I'm not the only one that needs to pay that price, and that
Mhm.
I can't pay that price for you.
Mm.
And so when I started to, before creating those boundaries, you realize that a lot of people bring their drama to your doorstep, and
Mhm.
many times want to make it your problem. And sometimes that's a
Mm.
man. And I just heard some people talk about this, in ways, a man talking about, be my peace.
Duh.
But but you got to be peace, honey. You got to be your own peace, and I've got to be my own peace. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't be the peace for someone else. And so understanding that, then when it comes to the boundaries, I know who I am. I know the gifts that I was given, and I know how to that I can I fully offer these gifts to other people. But many
Mhm.
many times when people are not seeing clearly, when they are in the mindset of almost like it's a hunger that that kind of blocks their vision from, and it's just a hunger that's animalistic, that's willing to sort of like, you know when I see those things, I'm offering the wisdom. I'm offering, whether it's trans tech and the environment that I've created to help people learn technical skills and what have you. But no dollar that I give, no opportunity really that nothing that I can give you can be more substantial than what you ultimately can give yourself. Now, meaning like I can stop the bleeding for a moment. It's like get me offering a glass of water to someone in hell. After midway through that water, they're gonna need some more. Someone like, I have had family members who have been, just constantly in need financially. So me giving once or twice, they are back again. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
and so if I don't change, if I don't see and offer intentionally what I know this person needs, I have boundaries around what people demand of me. You know what I mean? And because it has to be, it's there. I can't let you place demands on me. But it's an
And
offering. It's an offering.
Mhm.
Angelica, I love the significance of boundaries in your life. My therapist once told me, you never know who you're fucking with until you implement a boundary. And I love that you have learned, where can I protect my peace so that I can show up with my wisdom and I can actually show up with the offerings that the creator has allowed me to share with the world. And of course, as a Black trans creative woman, all of those identities are going to be in the room with you at the same time. So it's no wonder that you show up as an advocate. It's no wonder that you show up as an activist. Also, and when you no longer have to show up as the activist, capital A, right? What are your dreams around being an artist? Tell us your dreams as an artist. Leave the resistance alone for a second.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm starting to live that dream. I'm living my dream as an artist, and what that's looking like is, I grew up in church. I grew up under the understanding, let everything that hath breath, praise
Praise
the
the
Lord.
Lord.
The trumpets, all the things that what have you. And so, like, from a spiritual place, I approach
Mm,
music. I approach music from a spiritual
mm-hmm,
place, so much so that I can't even control it. So
mm,
even when I'm not, let's say, plugged in or don't have certain things, there was a time in my relationship, my ex-fiance, where we'd get into an argument and tense something, and I'd start singing afterwards. Mary J.
mm,
Blige, not going, I don't know, but it was a situation where when I experienced intense emotion, I
mm,
creative something spills out of me, and so being trans and feeling oppressed and feeling like I didn't have access to those things and having to survive and not being able to thrive, like I got
mm,
kind of pushed off that path. And I'm just very grateful that I'm back on my own path. I'm back creating music. I'm back doing those
mm-hmm,
things, but it came from me taking it back for myself. It came from me
mm-hmm.
not putting a monetary value on that sacred space, but saying that this is my health. This
Yeah.
is because I am this gift. I actually need to participate in this way, even to feel healthy.
Right.
So for me as a creative, I'm an actor. Can't wait
Mm.
for my next role and those wonderful things. It's going to be great. But I'm not going to sit here and stress out with Hollywood about who's going to say yes to me next.
That
And
part.
I'm not going to wait for a moment to be able to call myself an artist or a creator or whatever. So my dream is to be able to create music. And for me, that is sometimes as an artist, and I'm going to be releasing music. And sometimes that's me writing music for other artists. I play piano. I love me. I love
Okay, piano.
collaborating with, yes, you know what I mean? So I love collaborating with other people. So I just want to be in the room. I want to be
Mm.
using the gift that I know
Mm.
that I have. That's my dream, beyond monetary value, beyond the
Mhm.
resistance, beyond all these things, is
Mhm.
was I able to make music today?